take a look at business that the members have or this afternoon will be coming to consider. There are 3 bills that have been appearing in the order of business that are at the division stage. This means that debate on them was concluded, and at this time the business that will be transacted regarding these bills is for the members to vote for the bill to be read for the second time in order for the bill to move into the next stage. That is consideration at the committee of the whole. This means that if there were any amendments that may have been proposed during the debate, then at that point is when the amendments may be considered and either adopted or dropped. So the 3 bills that if the members raise the quorum for division will be considered include the Office of the County Attorney Amendment Bill originating from the Senate by Honorable Senator David Wafula Wakoli, the Seeds and Plant Varieties Amendment Bill also originating from the Senate by the Honorable Senator Ledama Olekina, as well as the County Hall of Fame Bill, a bill originating from the Senate by the nominated Senator Miraj Abdullahi Abdul Rahman. These are bills that have been given priority in the order paper, order number 9, 10, and 11. And once the House comes, they will be considered. But on your screens, you can see that the Speaker's procession has already started making its way into the chambers with the mess ahead of the Speaker. That is the Speaker of the Senate, Honorable Amason Jeffa Kingi. He is making his way inside the chamber to preside over this afternoon sitting. Allow me to hand you over to this live broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. My name is Kamche Menza. Good afternoon.
Tuombe. Mwenyezi Mungu, tukusihi tutazame kwa neema nyingi na baraka sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita kwa nyadhifa za uongozi katika jamhuri hii yetu. Tukuomba utuajalie tuyatende na kufanya mambo yote atakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Clerk, do we have quorum? Sergeant at Arms, can you ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes?
The prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, the House is facing a quorum hitch. The House cannot, or the sitting cannot commence yet until and unless the quorum is raised. This is as per the House standing orders that at least 15 senators should be seated at the time the prayer is said and the chair taken for the House to be deemed to have quorated. If that is not present, then that would mean the quorum bell will be on for 10 minutes to give room for members who may be running late to be able to get to the chambers and also join their colleagues and raise that much needed quorum for the House to commence. At the lapse of the first minute quorum bell, if the quorum will not have been raised yet, a second round of 10-minute quorum bell will be on. However, if that lapses and the quorum is not raised, the House will be risking or might be adjourned as per the House standing order. So we shall be waiting to see whether the House shall be able to raise that quorum for the House to commence. And we shall continue to take a look at the business that they will be transacting this afternoon as they convene for this sitting. The County Oversight Accountability Bill, a bill originating from the Senate and sponsored by Honorable Senator Lida Molekina and Honorable Senator William Kisang, is yet another priority business that has been lined up for consideration this afternoon. Business or debate on it continues. You will recall that during the Tuesday afternoon sitting, there was a debate on it. And this afternoon also, this bill is coming up for a debate to be, or rather to continue. It's a bill that seeks to provide a framework for effective oversight over the county government by the Senate, to provide for a mechanism on how oversight over the county budgets can be carried out, and also gives effect to the constitutional provisions on oversight, public participation, and participatory democracy as enunciated in Articles 96, 174, 201 of the Constitution. So that is part of the business that senators will this afternoon transact. Currently is a quorum bell. We have seen more members making their way into the chamber. That means in a short while we should be able to raise that quorum. I can spot the senator for Nairobi County, who's also the minority whip, counting to the members inside the chamber to see whether the quorum is about to be raised. So we shall be also waiting to be guided on whether that quorum has been raised yet, for us to be able to let you in to listen into the business of the day. Pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 53, paragraph 1, where senators request or seek for statements from various standing committees regarding matters concerning counties or inter-county, national, regional, and even international level. This afternoon, the nominated senator, Honorable Hamida Kibwana, will seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the escalating cases of child sex trafficking and sexual exploitation in Maimahiu, Nakuru County. The Senator, Honorable Hamida Kibwana, also has yet another statement that she will be seeking. This one is from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing regarding the safety of motorcycle helmets sold in Kenya. The nominated Senator, Honorable Raphael Chimera, also will be seeking a statement this afternoon from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment and Natural Resources regarding the status of ownership and the proposed sale of 14210 registered under the Kenya Triangle Company Limited in Kwale County. The House about to commence its sitting. The quorum has been raised. Although we are waiting for or a second round of quorum bell will be rung, I hand you over to
now. Kindly let's settle down. Take your seats, Honorable. Clerk, you may proceed to call the first order.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Senator Fogarisa, take your seat, please. Now, honorable senators, I'd like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting lecturers and students from the School of Business at KIPS Technical College, an accredited TVET. Clerk, can you confirm that indeed I'm not inviting ghosts to the Senate? Can you confirm? Can you confirm in the public gallery if indeed we have these guests? Senator Falamu, take your seat. Honorable Senators, sorry for the earlier communication. I'm told those guests are yet to make their way to the public gallery. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon, students from Starehe Boys Center School, Alliance High School, and Kianda School, who are undertaking a 2-week voluntary service scheme. Each student to stand when called out so that you may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. Tony Kiprono, Starehe Boys Center. Alexander Mitch, Starehe Boys Center. Nathan Wanyonyi, Starehe Boys Center. Bryden Walter, Alliance High School. Reuben Makolo, Alliance High School. Peter Trevor, Alliance High School. Tricia Rono, Kianda School. Nanteza Uziza, Kianda School. And Yvonne Owalo, Kianda School. Now, honorable senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I will allow the Senator I know Alliance High School is in Kiambu County. Starehe is in Nairobi County, and Kianda is in Nairobi County. However, do we have old boys from Starehe Boys? So I will allow the Senator for Nairobi City County to pass a word of welcome to the delegations from Starehe Boys. Do we have an old boy from Alliance High School apart from the chair? Again, I will allow the Nairobi City County Senator to likewise extend a word of welcome to welcome the delegates from Alliance High School. Do we have an old girl from Kianda? Again, the Senator for Nairobi City County, you will take the opportunity to welcome the three delegations. You may proceed.
Yeah, I hope the students have noticed the tradition of this house is usually that the senator of the area from which the students come from ordinarily welcomes them to the Senate. And you have seen how the chair has struggled to find a reason for me not to be the one to welcome the delegation. But because I serve a living God, every single hurdle that has been placed on my path has fallen.
Senator for Nairobi City County. Don't dare the chair, please.
So, light touch, Honorable Speaker. I want to take this opportunity, Speaker, to welcome the delegations from the 3 schools. Indeed, these are top learning institutions in our country. They have had stellar performance throughout the years. The students who come from this school, you have no excuse not to succeed. As you have seen how thin it is, this Senate is in terms of representation from some of your schools. Some of us went to lesser known schools, and that we are here is something that we celebrate. But if it was people from Alliance and Kianda and Starehe sitting here, it's not a surprise. At least in the lower house, Honorable Speaker, I know of members who went to Starehe. The MP for Saboti, Caleb Amisi, is a member of the National Assembly there. So I just want to take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of all the members here to welcome you to this house. Speaker, just briefly, I had the opportunity last, I think it was a few months ago, to have a meeting with the leaders from these schools under the auspices of the Center for Multi-Party Democracy. And I can attest that these schools are really doing their best to equip these young people for the future. Brilliant young girls and boys, and ours is just to wish you well, to welcome you in the Senate. I hope that you are able to participate in the debate today and learn something that you can take back to school. We wish you well as our future leaders. May God bless you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 5, papers.
Senate Majority Leader. It cannot be a point of order, Senator Eddie. What is your intervention?
Oh, okay.
Mr. Speaker, it's a very cold season, and I just wanted some clarity because as a cold season, I'm beginning to see some different kind of dress codes here. So I'm just standing under rule number 15 of the Speaker's rules on dressing code. I just wanted clarity whether the majority whip is dressed accordingly, so that when next time I show up with a turtleneck in this cold, I can be able to come with them because I just wanted clarity from the Speaker so that I also know whether the dress code is okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Senator Eddie, you referred to rule number 15 of the Speaker's rules. That one deals with smoking. It has got nothing to do with the dressing of an honorable senator. I want to assume that you were referring to Rule 20 of the Speaker's rules, and I'm going to read it for clarity. No person, even if otherwise qualified, shall be admitted to the lounge, dining room, or Speaker's gallery unless he or she is, in the opinion of the Sergeant at Arms, properly dressed. This means that the person is dressed in a coat, collar, tie, long trousers, socks and shoes, or service uniform, religious attire, or such other decent dressing as the Speaker may from time to time approve. In the lounge or in the dining room, senators or visitors may wear long trousers, clean shirts, socks, shoes, or service uniform. An equivalent standard shall apply in respect of female visitors while in the gallery, lounge, or the dining room. Now, Senator Boni, you are in breach of this particular rule. And therefore, I will ask you to go dress as per this rule and come back immediately.
Mr. Speaker, well, Senator Eddy will be Senator Alwale's age. Then he will understand why old men sometimes have to dress like that. But for now, he cannot seem to appreciate. Mr. Speaker, I want to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, Wednesday, the 29th of October, 2025. These are reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the year ended 30th June, 2025 of the following counties. Uasin Gishu Emergency Fund, Uasin Gishu County Climate Change Fund, Uasin Gishu County Cooperatives Enterprise Development Fund, Uasin Gishu County Alcoholics Drinks Control Fund, Migori County Climate Change Fund, Homa Bay County Climate Change Fund, Nyeri County Health Services Fund, Dekut Enterprises Company, County Government of Nyeri, Trans Nzoia County Public Service Board, Kitale National Polytechnic, County Government of Trans Nzoia, Kisumu County Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme, Executive Fund, County Government of Kisumu, Kisumu Urban Projects, Project Advance Account, CKE 1035-01G, County Government of Kisumu, Kisumu Urban Cash Expenditure Fund, CKE, County Government of Kisumu, Kenya Health Sector Program Support 2, that is DANIDA, reference 104 Kenya, the County Government of Kisii, Kisii County Climate Change Fund, Garissa County Climate Change Fund, Garissa County Scholarship Fund, County Government of Garissa, Garissa County Emergency Fund, County Government of Garissa, Mumias Municipality, County Government of Kakamega. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Next order. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
The Chairperson, Delegated Legislation Committee. Or any member from that committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the Chair, Delegated Legislation Committee of the Senate, notice of motion extension of time for the consideration of the county licensing uniform procedures regulations 2025 legal notice number 91 of 2025. Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that aware that the county licensing uniform procedures regulations 2025 legal notice number 91 of 2025 were tabled in the Senate on Wednesday 9th of July 2025 and referred to the Select Committee on Delegated Legislation for consideration pursuant to Section 12(1) of the Statutory Instruments Act, cognizant that the committee is required to make a report within 28 sitting days after the date of referral of the instrument, by the Senate pursuant to Section 15(2) of the Statutory Instruments Act, which will lapse on Thursday, 30th of October, 2025, aware that Section 15(3) of the Statutory Instruments Act provides that by a resolution, Parliament may extend the time for consideration of our statutory instruments by a period not exceeding 21 calendar days, noting that the committee is in receipt of submissions on the regulations from the Council of Governors necessitating further consultations with stakeholders, including the Cabinet Secretary for Investments, Trade and Industry, and the Council of Governors. Now, therefore, the Senate, pursuant to Section 15(3) of the Statutory Instruments Act, resolved to extend the timeline for consideration of the County Licensing Uniform Procedures Regulations 2025, legal notice number 91 of 2025, for a further 21 days. Calendar days to enable the committee to meet the stakeholders and subsequently make a resolution on or before Tuesday, 18th of November, 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Statements pursuant to Standing Order 53-1. Honorable Senator Hamida Kibwana. You have 3 statements.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Though I'm holding even 4 statements, actually some of them are, they've been actually on the queue for quite some time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The first statement is on the escalating cases of child sex trafficking and sexual exploitation in Maimahiu, Nakuru County. Pursuant to Standing Order, dear Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the alarming revelations of child sex trafficking and exploitation in Maimahiu, Nakuru County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the existence of an organized child sex trafficking network operating openly in Maimahiu has recently been exposed. This key transport hub in the Rift Valley, located along the Northern Corridor, has become a hotspot for trafficking and commercial sex exploitations of minors reportedly as young as 13 years old. Testimonies indicate that some of these girls are recruited and controlled by madams who profit from their abuse under the guise of informal protection and employment and are subjected to unprotected and forced sexual encounters with multiple clients each day. Despite the gravity of these accounts, there is a little evidence of law enforcement action, investigations, and accountability. The normalization of child exploitation in a major transit town like Maimahiu constitutes a national crisis that demands urgent and decisive parliamentary action. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the prevalence of child sex trafficking rings in Maimahiu and other major towns and the identities of those perpetrating this criminal activity. Number 2, the number of suspects involved in child sex trafficking who have been arrested and prosecuted, and additionally, enforcement measures put in place by the police to address the concerns. Number 3, whether the National Police Service and Anti-Human Trafficking and Child Protection Unit are adequately equipped and actively responding to child trafficking and exploitation cases in Nakuru County. Number 4, the status of current national framework for the protection, rescue, and rehabilitation of trafficked minors, including the availability of witness protection for child victims of sexual exploitation. Finally, urgent policy, legislative, or administrative interventions to strengthen enforcement against child trafficking and ensure accountability for any public officials who may have abetted this criminal activity through negligence or complicity. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll go for the second one. On the road safety of motorcycle boda helmets sold in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of national concern regarding the safety of motorcycle helmets sold and used in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, given the widespread of use of motorcycles as a means of transport and livelihood, this matter raises grave public health and safety concerns. The continued circulation of unsafe helmets exposes thousands of Kenyans to preventable deaths and injuries. In the statement, the committee should address the following issues. Number one, the process and regulatory mechanism in place by the Kenya Bureau of Standards, KEBS, and other relevant agencies for inspecting, certifying and approving motorcycle helmets for sale in the country and ensuring that they meet international crash test standards. Number two, the number of helmet brands currently certified for use in Kenya, including the extent of enforcement measures taken against substandard or counterfeit helmets. Number three, the measurements being taken by the Ministry of Roads and Transport to protect citizens from the risks posed by substandard helmets, including public sensitization campaigns, enforcement operations, and recall of unsafe products. Number four, whether there are plans to introduce stricter penalties against manufacturers, importers, and distributors of substandard helmets in order to safeguard the lives of border operators and their passengers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I go for the next one. On gaps in neonatal care in health facilities countrywide. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding reported gaps in the provision of essential nursing care for newborns in health facilities across the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, my office has received numerous reports from the mothers of newborns indicating that critical nursing interventions are often not provided in a timely or consistent manner. These interventions include the timely initiation of breastfeeding, monitoring of vital signs, infection prevention, thermal care, vaccination, and health education for mothers. Failure to provide these services exposes newborns to preventable complications including sepsis, hypothermia, feeding problems, and in severe cases, avoidable neonatal deaths. In the statement, the committee should address the following issues. Number one, the extent to which newborns are missing essential nursing care in both public and private health facilities and the underlying cause of such lapses. Number two, measures currently being undertaken by the Ministry of Health and county governments to ensure that every newborn receives comprehensive and quality nursing. Number three, strategies in place to strengthen supervision, accountability, and continuous professional training for nurses providing neonatal care. Finally, the plans by the government to align newborn nursing care with National Child Health Strategies and Sustainable Development Goal 3, specifically targeting 3.2 on reducing preventable infant and child mortality. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have one last statement on the conflict between KMPDC and county governments over the regulation of ambulances services. Mr. Speaker, sir, I arise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding the dispute between the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council, KMPDC, and county governments on the regulation of ambulance and emergency medical services. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Council of Governors, COG, through its chairperson, His Abdullahi, has faulted KMPDC for issuing a public notice seeking to regulate ambulance services, yet such functions are expressly devoted under Part 2 of the 4th Schedule of the Constitution. During a meeting, county health executives held on the 5th September 2025 in Mombasa, the CAOG consequently advised counties to disregard the KPMDC notice, citing lack of consultation, constitutional overreach, and breach of prior intergovernment resolutions. In the statement, the committee should address the following issues. Number one, the role of Ministry of Health and its agencies in developing national emergency care frameworks, and whether county governments were adequately consulted, and whether KMPDC has any legal mandate to regulate ambulance services. Number two, whether the public notice by KMPDC has legal effect, and if it aligns with the principles of consultation and cooperation between the national and county governments. Number three, whether there are existing or proposed frameworks to harmonize national and county emergency medical systems and mechanism to resolve conflicts of mandate between national health regulatory bodies and county governments. Finally, the measures that will be taken to prevent duplication, ensure constitutional integrity of devolved functions, and strengthen coordinated emergency health care. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The statement by Senator Chimera is deferred. Senator for Marsabit County, Senator Mohamed Chute.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm requesting for a statement on the involvement of the Kenya Defence Forces, KDF, in the implementation of various public infrastructure development projects. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing on a matter of national concern regarding the trend by the national government to involve the Kenya Defence Forces in the implementation of various public infrastructure development projects, particularly the constructions and renovation of several stadiums across the country. In the statement, the committee should address the following. One, the procurement method adopted for each public infrastructure development projects initiated by the national government from 2020 to date, where the Kenya Defence Force was eventually selected for the project implementation, including a justification in each instance where open tendering was not used. And finally, two, the rationale for involvement of KDF in the implementation of public infrastructure development projects despite availability of qualified civilian contractors in the country. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Faki.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, nimesimama kuambatana na kifungu cha 53(1) cha kanuni za kudumu za Seneti kuomba kauli kutoka kwa kamati ya kudumu ya leba na ustawi wa jamii kuhusiana na ucheleweshaji wa malipo ya kustaafu ya Bwana Abdalla Mohamed Ghazal jijini Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Mheshimiwa Spika, Bwana Mohamed Abdalla Ghazal alifanya kazi na kampuni julikanayo kama Al-Dhahri International Group for Trading and Contracting kwa muda wa karibu miaka 30 hadi kustaafu kwake mnamo mwaka 2022. Kampuni hiyo ililinda kulimlipa malipo yake ya kustaafu. Hivyo basi akaenda mahakamani huko Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Mahakama ya kwanza iliamuru Bwana Abdalla alipo pesa zake za kustaafu. Kampuni haikuridhika na uamuzi huo na ikakata rufaa kwa mahakama mbili za juu. Mahakama hizo zilitupilia mbali rufaa hizo na kuamuru kampuni imlipe Bwana Abdalla reali 716,743 za Kisaudi. Uamuzi wa rufaa ulitolewa mwezi Julai mwaka 2024 na hadi sasa zaidi ya mwaka mmoja baada ya uamuzi huo, kampuni ya Al-Dhahri imekataa kulipa malipo hayo. Badala yake Bwana Abdalla alifukuzwa kutoka Saudi Arabia baada ya kustaafu, na ubalozi wa Kenya jijini Riyadh ulimsaidia tu kupata kibali cha usafiri, na ubalozi huo haujamsaidia kivyovyote ili kupata malipo yake ya kustaafu. Katika taarifa ya Mheshimiwa Spika, kamati yaangazia ifuatayo: sababu ya kutomlipa Bwana Abdalla malipo yake licha ya mahakama kutoa uamuzi alipwe. Pili, mikakati ambayo ubalozi wa Kenya inafanya kuhakikisha kwamba Bwana Abdalla analipwa pesa zake za kustaafu. Mwisho, Ya tatu, idadi ya Wakenya wengine wanaopata changamoto kama hizi nchini Saudi Arabia na kwengineko wanapostaafu makazi ambao wameajiriwa kufanya. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Now, honorable senators, I will allow comments for not more than 15 minutes on these statements. Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some comments on this statement by the distinguished Senator, Senator Hamida Kibwana, on gaps on neonatal care in health facilities countrywide. Mr. Speaker, even before I begin to comment on this statement, let me appreciate the work that Senator Hamida has been doing in this parliament. Mr. Speaker, I worked with the distinguished senator when she was developing an e-health bill. She called it an e-health bill. But funny enough, the Ministry of Health took over, plagiarized 99.9% of her bill and brought it to this House and changed the title of the bill and called it Digital Health Bill. This is one thing that has really bothered me for a very long time. Because we work day and night to be able to think through. But somebody in the Ministry of Health just sit down there and say there's a very good bill here, but if it goes in as a government bill, it achieves that progress and the bill becomes an act of parliament. If the Ministry of Health, Mr. Speaker, had taken some time and consult the distinguished Senator, Senator Hamida, these issues of these gaps would not have been there. Because it is not just the content or the context. It is the thought behind it. It is sad. I was listening to the Cabinet Secretary earlier today here. One, lecturing senators, which I think was uncouth. Number two, also saying that every county government must now submit, records on mortality in their counties, and not really addressing the issues. Because what happens? You can then say this is the data we have on how many kids are dying. But what have you done as a ministry? If your job is to be able to plagiarize legislations developed by this House, then why don't you go a step higher and consult that member of parliament who developed that legislation? Mr. Speaker, I sit in the Health Committee, and these are some of the challenges that we face. Even when we are going through developing legislation, some people will be sitting down somewhere. Even some names which are being mentioned earlier today here. They will sit and they'll come and tell you, look, what the government wants. And after that, they are the ones who are heading that ministry. Mr. Speaker, if we can implement this now, which is Senator Hamida's mind in her e-health proposals, which is now a digital health bill or act, we should be able to identify these gaps. It is sad. We're in the 21st century now. But sometimes you'll find that in other parts of this country, just because of either the wrong prescription, you end up finding certain conditions to a situation where their own body becomes sepsis. So it is imperative, Mr. Speaker, that we follow through on implementations on legislation that are developed here. If then the Ministry of Health wants to be the one to draft legislation and we just become a conveyor belt to pass through, then they should be answering these questions. How? Why is it that newborns are missing essential health care? So, Mr. Speaker, this bill or this statement that has been brought by Senator Hamida is very important. And I want to request the distinguished senator to take some time and go in and sit down with the Ministry of Health. Tell them, you took my bill. You brought it here, you passed it. You force us to pass it. Now, how are we going to implement it? Because this is an issue of implementation, lack of implementation. Otherwise, we'd be able to keep track.
Senator Cherargei.
Thank you.
What's your intervention, Majority Leader?
To Senator Cherargei, but normally when you guide us on this session, you normally guide on time per member so that as many members as possible can speak. I realize you didn't do that today. 3 minutes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know why Majority Leader was worried before I speak, but nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, I agree with him that we must be fair to everybody in terms of time. Mine is just that has received an attention is on the issue of ambulances. Mr. Speaker, this is one of the most ignored but very important chain that will assist most of our people to get emergency medical services. I was disappointed and sad when we visited Busia County Referral Hospital. Mr. Speaker, sir, are you aware, under the governor of Busia, there is no even single functional ambulance at the County Referral Hospital of Busia? It is so shameful. And I'm happy Senator Sifuna was there. I don't know, a number of us were there. Only an ambulance, Mr. Speaker. The reason even some of these people are saying SHA is not working, Mr. Speaker, is because the county health system has collapsed. Even in my county, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, you have to pay 1,000 shillings to get a service on an ambulance because there is no fuel. Some of the ambulances look like matatus. You are being carried by an ambulance, there is no emergency kit. Even the gloves within the ambulance that ply and operate within Nandi County and even across a number of counties, Mr. Speaker. This issue of ambulances, I agree that it's unconstitutional, it is illegal under 4th schedule for KMPDC and the Ministry of Health to direct on the issue of ambulances, but also county governments must up their game. The lack of drugs, the lack of ambulance, the lack of service provision. Today we were discussing, Mr. Speaker, and you are aware the Cabinet Secretary is on record saying that after 7,000 UHC staff had been given SRC rates, the biggest impediment and obstacle to confirmation on permanent pensionable is Council of Governors. That's one of the substrata, Mr. Speaker, that will always undermine access to affordable and quality ambulances, Mr. Speaker. We must agree, I think the Committee of Health, led by Masingishu Senator, Mr. Speaker, must tell us what kind of ambulances should counties buy. Mr. Speaker, my county, when they went to procure, under a friend, of course, I want not to mention, Mr. Speaker, they procured like a J6 lorry that it does not operate, Mr. Speaker. A tractor in speed is much better than what was procured. The center pole will go to other, Mr. Speaker, the driving. Mr. Speaker, we must agree also as a house. When Kilifi, where you are the governor, and your senator is here, was purchasing their ambulances now or then, the standard of ambulance must be the one that is operated by Red Cross, Mr. Speaker. So on this issue, I want to thank Senator Amida, Mr. Speaker, that she has been very passionate of issues of health. And I hope going into the future, under broad-based engagement beyond 27, it should be the CS of health so that he can fix some of these issues. I yield, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to comment on this very important statement by Senator for Marsabit, Senator Mohamed Chute, on the involvement of the military in implementation of various public infrastructure projects. Mr. Speaker, this raises a lot of concern because it is now become a norm, particularly in the implementation of various studies across the country. The military is fully involved. Now, you ask a number of questions. Number one, how the Public Finance Management Act is employed in that case, how the public procurement and disposal. Mr. Speaker, this could be another form of corruption that we are trying to invent, because we know that it is not allowed to scrutinize the financial activities of the military. So if we get the military involved in public development projects, then the issue of oversight will be brought into question. So I think this matter is a very important matter that we need to look at. And also, Mr. Speaker, bearing in mind that we need as a country to try as much as possible to keep the military in their spaces, in the barracks. The temptation to get the military outside there is it's not a good thing, Mr. Speaker. We have just seen what has happened in Madagascar, where the military was allowed to go and deal with unrest, and they ended up overthrowing the government, Mr. Speaker. So we need to limit that interaction in the public spaces and allow the military to be the military what it is. I know people want to say the military is very disciplined, but we can also ensure discipline in other sectors of our economy so that we deliver value for money for our people instead of getting military directly involved in some of these things, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I expect that this committee will interrogate these issues deeply so that to ensure that in as much as we are saying military are good in delivering projects, we must also look at the other issues that may arise from that involvement, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Senator Karen Nyamu.
Mr. Speaker, I want to make comments on the statement on the involvement on KDF doing infrastructure projects in the country. Mr. Speaker, the work of KDF is to keep, protect this country and to keep the country safe. We need to understand under what circumstances, under what framework is KDF undertaking construction work in the country. Is it a directive? Is it a special arrangement? Is it open tender? At the same time, we have to understand that this, in effect, what this does, we cut jobs when these jobs go to the military. And the effect is that the money that is supposed to be in circulation in the economy goes to the military, which has an effect to the economy. This House needs to demand that we get a comparison of the value for money. Is it cheaper when KDF undertakes this contract? Is it more expensive? We have qualified contractors in this country and who have a track record of doing good jobs and good quality work. We need to support those because, as I said, that has a direct impact of the economy. We respect the KDF. We do not say they have not done a good job, but let's keep them within their mandate, which does not involve carrying out public works as they are doing at the moment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Beatrice Akinyi.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. I would like to comment on the statement by the Senator of Marsabit of various infrastructural development projects. Honorable Speaker, even contrary to the arguments that we are getting here, KDF have been trained and they are maintained and they are paid from the public coffers. So where they are able to give back to the communities, where they are able to give back to the public, I do not mind if they can do some work within certain frameworks that are developed. Honorable Speaker, we have had disasters like floods and even drought. And at those times, KDF have been called upon to help in restoring infrastructure. The only important thing is that we must have a framework in which they operate on some of those projects. Otherwise, their core mandate remains security, but they are Kenyans that have been trained by, through public offers, and they are also paid by the public offers. Honorable Speaker, just the other time when we had these disasters of the Right Honorable Prime Minister's death, we saw the military do commendable work. And so I want to thank them for even the work they did during Baba's funeral, as I thank the President of this country, Samoei Ruto, for demonstrating statesmanship and for giving Baba the honor that he gave. As I thank the President, I also thank the leadership of this House. Honorable Speaker, you gave us an opportunity to honor Baba along with the leadership of the House, and I thank you and I thank all Kenyans for demonstrating patriotism at that level. And so, Honorable Speaker, as I get back to my seat, we want to say the lion has retreated back to the mountain, and so I congratulate also the Senator, Dr. Oburu, for taking over the party, and we are proud of him, and we are sure, we are confident in his patience, tolerance, and leadership. Honorable Speaker, I support.
Senator Mungatana. Whom do you want to inform, and there's nobody on their feet? No, the House, you will get an opportunity to contribute. Senator Mungatana.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to comment on the statement of the involvement of KDF on civil construction works. Mr. Speaker, what that statement from the Honorable Senator of Marsabit is seeking is just clarification, because we all know that the mandate that is executed by the KDF is just to oversee construction. And Mr. Speaker, they have done this in stadiums, in various counties like Siaya, like in Nakuru. They have also done supervisory work on some of the level 4 hospitals to reconstruct and finish, because some of those projects were stalled projects and they were costing the government a lot of money, and inversely the people of Kenya. So we understand. But what the senator from Marsabit is asking is whether this mandate has been extended to taking over full construction tenders. We wanted that to be clarified. But if it is to come and finish projects that have been stalled, Mr. Speaker, projects that have just gone because of indiscipline of contractors or whatever, and the KDF is coming in to help us and finish these projects, I think we should support them, because KDF has distinguished itself in this country as one of those institutions that we can rely on in terms of helping us through difficult times. So we shouldn't look at this inquiry as a negative thing. We want the committee to have a clear investigation on this matter. We find out if KDF has overstepped its mandate. But if it is just doing the correct thing, then let us support them. I submit, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. You know, we have a problem whereby we do not come here and we assume that just because those pieces of legislation have not come here, what KDF is doing is illegal. I just want to inform the House that there are two pieces of legislation. One, there was a piece of legislation which was passed in 2021, which set up the Ulinzi Construction Company, which is under KDF. And we have used it here in Parliament. That is number one. Number two, Mr. Speaker, there is a bill which was a critical infrastructure bill of 2024 that was being considered by the National Assembly, that was brought by the Ministry of Interior for KDF to be able to undertake this critical infrastructure. So I think it is important. Sometimes we might be moved by interest of us, our companies outside doing business, but it is important to know that what KDF does is legal. KDF will not want to get into projects that they are not legally allowed to be able to perform. If you go to Kajiado today, the Kenya Meat Commission performed well when KDF got involved. They did not just get involved just like that. So let us not be oblivious of the existing legal framework. I've seen this. I think when we contribute, before we comment, we do some due diligence. There is a law that establishes a company under KDF. There is a law that there was a lot of extensive public participation on critical infrastructure. In fact, I want to challenge all of us here. Do your simple Google, look for critical infrastructure bill of 2024, so that when we come here, because we are representing Kenyans, for them to know. KDF, we have to respect it a lot for everything they do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mazaya.
Asante mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, niko na taarifa mbili ambazo nataka kuziunga mkono. Ya kwanza, nitaanza na taarifa ya kuhusu kwa kucheleweshwa malipo ya mfanyikazi ambaye ni Mkenya alikuwa akifanya kazi huko Saudi Arabia, iliyoletwa hapa na ndugu yangu seneta wa Mombasa County, Mwenye Haji. Bwana Spika, kitu cha kwanza ni jambo la kusikitisha kuona kwamba mtu anaweza kumaliza miaka yake zaidi ya 30 kufanyia kazi kwa bidii kampuni, hususan akiwa nje mbali na nyumbani, na hatimaye mwisho akimaliza kazi asiweze kupewa malipo yake. Bwana Spika, tunaona kwamba japokuwa kwamba alikuwa anafanya kazi nje ya nchi huko Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia na Kenya ni nchi zilizo na uhusiano mwema. Na vile vile ni kwamba ikiwa kuna jambo lolote ambalo haliwezi kutekelezeka wakati kama kampuni kama hiyo imekataa, wako na ubalozi, wako na serikali ya Saudia, na serikali yetu pia iko, kunaweza kuwa na mazungumzo ya kuona kwamba yule aliyekuwa amefanya kazi kule na ni Mkenya halisi alipwe malipo yake. Ni jambo la aibu kuona hivi sasa yule Abdallah Ghazal ambaye hapo zamani alikuwa mchezaji mzuri sana wa mpira, alienda akacheza huko, alichezea hapa akachezea Kenya na hatimaye akachukuliwa kwenda huko, lakini alipofika huko akapata kazi zingine pia, na ndio amekuwa akifanya kwa miaka hiyo 30 amefanya, hajapata malipo. Na mimi naunga taarifa hii kwa sababu litakuwa jambo la kusikitisha, Bwana Spika, kuona Mkenya amefanya kazi katika kampuni nje ya Kenya na ameipatia ile kampuni sifa, na hatimaye ameweza kustaafu na amekatazwa kulipa malipo yake. Ameweza kuyafata, ameenda paka kotini, na kotini ameweza kushinda koti ya kwanza, na akashinda pia koti ya rufaa, na akashinda koti nyingine ya juu zaidi ilipokuwa imewekwa, na hatimaye alipokuwa akiendelea kungoja malipo amefurushwa kutoka huko Saudia kwa hali ya kinyama, hali ya kumfanya kama ambaye si mtu ambaye aliishi nao kwa muda wa miaka yote hiyo 30. Kwa hiyo sisi tunasema kwamba ingekuwa bora serikali ya Kenya kupitia ubalozi, kupitia uwezo wake, kupitia uhusiano mwema ulioko katika baina ya serikali ya Kenya na serikali ya Saudia, kuona ya kwamba Mohamed Ghazal malipo yake yametekelezwa vilivyo. Na kama itakwenda katika kamati, ingekuwa vizuri kamati yetu pia kuchukua hatua hiyo, hata ikiwezekana pia kamati yetu. Taarifa ya pili, Bwana Spika, ambao nataka kuunga mkono ni taarifa ya dadangu, dada yetu Hamida Kibwana. Hamida Kibwana yeye huwa analeta sana taarifa kama hizi ambazo zinahusikana na sisi kama Wakenya na afya zetu. Hususan ukiangalia ameleta bili za kuweza kueleweka kiafya. Katika bili hii ambao anasema kwamba kama mama akienda kujifungua, baada ya kujifungua anatakana kuona kwamba anapata chakula chema. Ningepatiwa kama dakika kidogo bwana Speaker, kidogo tu kama 2.
1 minute to wind up.
Bwana Speaker, asante kumpatia hiyo dakika moja. Nitaomba pengine nukta fulani mbele yake. Lakini nasema tu ya kwamba kitu cha muhimu ni kwamba hizi bili yake ambao hii taarifa yake ambayo ameileta ni muhimu, kwa sababu taifa hili linahitaji hawa watoto wakue, wawe wakubwa, wawe kama sisi, ili tuweze kuendeleza taifa letu. Ikiwa hawa watoto wataanza kufa katika umri kama huu mdogo namna hii, manake siku hizi tunaona kina mama wakienda hospitali mara nyingi kunakuwa zile hospitali hawaangaliwi vizuri na wanapoteza watoto. Unaingia vizuri, unazaa vizuri, lakini unaambiwa mtoto amepita, yani amefariki. Kwa hiyo tunasema kwamba bili kama hizi ni muhimu sana kuona kwamba taarifa kama hii ni muhimu sana kuona